Welcome to the Maythorn Monthly for June. Behind me is the marina at Oropesa del Mar, just beyond Playa de la Concha. It's not somewhere where we normally get along to, but today we've come here and had a drink by the waterside and watched boats coming in and out, and this is also a refueling point. And as you can tell, the marina has got a little value in the boats you see behind us. Or should I be calling them yachts? I'm never sure. Anyway, this month we're leaving for Bulgaria, and as I issue the Maythorn Monthly, we'll be flying into Sofia Airport and then travelling overnight. The flight gets in after midnight, and we'll be travelling through the early hours of the morning as this video is released up to the north of Bulgaria. So you won't see any of the Bulgaria trip until next month, but I'm just telling you that's where we'll be at this very moment when I release this video. But of course, with the power of video, I'm actually in Spain and there's still quite a lot going on. First of all, though, I've got to go back to the UK because I've had a text in the last few days from Bob, who's working on the Trything cottage, and he tells me he's finished the bathroom, all the wall cladding's up, the ceiling's up, and just a few finishing touches to do. So let's go back and see what that's looking like. So here's the bathroom at Trything. The wall cladding is all in place around the bath. The cabinet is up on the wall and the shower has also been mounted above the bath. When the water was turned on, there were leaks from the pipe coming into the house. This was apparently due to the electrician going through the main pipe when he fixed his earth wire. And in another bathroom story, this is the communal bathroom at the shared house in Wallasey on the Wirral. Tap was leaking, the water was trickling down the pipe, and eventually it overpowered the ceiling in the storeroom below, leaving all our paperwork in bankers' boxes to be sodden, and the chipboard furniture also was damaged by the water ingress. Okay, we're in Spain at the moment. We're going to be in Bulgaria next month, but we're going to give you a brief preview now of some footage that Colin took at a place just outside Veliko Tarnovo called Hotsnitsa, I think I've got that right, where there's a rather nice waterfall. We'll give you a bit more on this next month, but here's a preview with Colin's footage. This morning, Misuzu and I have been down on the beach. She's been doing yoga, I haven't, and we're going to show you a place on the Frontline Apartments where they're going to build a wellness centre and a yoga and fitness centre, something new. So thanks for coming down this morning at the crack of dawn.
It was amazing.
All right, and we're now at Playa La Concha, and you haven't been here before. You like it?
Yeah. I love it, it's beautiful.
Yeah. Okay, so let's have a look at Misuzu doing the yoga.
In other news, the 19th of May saw the introduction of a new train service direct from Chester to Liverpool. We use this to get to Liverpool South Parkway for John Lennon Airport. I've featured my granddaughters on the Maythorn Monthly from time to time as they help me out with various things. Just over a week ago we had a family party to say goodbye to them because last Friday they arrived in Australia to start their new life there. Thanks to modern technology, we hope to see them again soon. So that pretty much leaves Ruth and I to carry on our lives as we wish. The house is going on the market, the garden is like a jungle, and there's all sorts of stuff lying around in various rooms in the house. Some of it that was left behind when the family went to Australia, that all needs clearing up and the whole place needs redecorating. So let's get on with that.
These are the first four banks I tried in 2016. Atom Bank was a savings bank based in County Durham, had a terrible app, very slow, and was just a savings bank. Fidor was a German bank who launched in Great Britain.
Die Debit Mastercard. Jetzt bei Ihrer Bank sichern.
And they forgot to translate their transactions, and I think to this day they're still half in German.
We all know we should be putting a bit aside each month.
Tandem didn't launch any accounts at first, but they aggregated other people's and eventually produced a credit card. And Monzo stood out from the rest because it showed you what could be done with a new generation current account.
Sounds perfectly reasonable.
And you are?
We're a bank called Monzo.
Oh.
I kept it going with Monzo for a couple of years until better things came along.
I want a bank that shows me what I spend instantly.
We're Monzo. Give us a go. See?
I've been using TransferWise as a currency exchange network for a couple of years, and then they jumped onto the bandwagon with a current account and a debit card of their own.
A global account to send and receive money around the world with the real exchange rate. That means you get a European IBAN, a UK account number and sort code and other local details with a single click. You can hold money in your account in over 40 currencies and switch between them in seconds at the real exchange rate, like the one you'd see on Google, with no sneaky markups. The TransferWise borderless account. Bye-bye bank fees. Hello world.
In 2016, I formed a limited company and went looking for a bank account for that. I wasted months on legacy banks like TSB and Barclays. I even took a trip to London to visit the Metro Bank. They all said no. And then along came Tide Bank. I sat on a platform on Lime Street Station waiting for a train, found the app, and I opened the account within a few minutes. Showed you a little bit about Starling Bank last month. They started business accounts, and I switched from Tide because Tide were charging 20p a transaction and Starling was free.
So what exactly is Revolut?
By this time, all the new players in the banking market were copying TransferWise and offering multi-currency accounts and the real exchange rate. Revolut was a typical offering.
Instantly, I can see my Revolut card details that I can use for online purchases. Or I can order the card to be delivered to my home address. And I can access the new PIN number for my card as soon as it arrives. When I go abroad, I simply upload money to my Revolut account and pay everywhere with my Revolut card. It doesn't matter where I am, in Thailand, Brazil, or South Africa. For each transaction, my Revolut card looks at my available balance and converts it to the local currency automatically using the best possible rate. I can even exchange money I've already uploaded. It costs me nothing, and it means I never have to use an exchange bureau again.
Most of what you saw in that Revolut advert was copied by the other banks like Starling and Monzo, so there was little to choose between them. I chose Starling for my main banking because I could have personal accounts, joint accounts and business accounts for my company and for my sole trader business. And I chose Revolut because I could bank in places like Bulgaria. I also tried Moniz and Coconut for a while. Moniz was useful because it had two debit cards, one in sterling and one in euros, and Coconut was supposed to be a sole trader's business account with accounting built in. That turned out to be a pretty dreadful implementation, and I quickly left them behind. So, wind back 2 years, remember Fidor Bank?
Fidor Bank, eine neue Art des Banking.
Genau. Feierabend.
But then along came number 26, which was abbreviated later to N26, and they seemed to me to be the ultimate pan-European bank, the answer to my prayers in Spain.
N26 est la banque mobile. Vous avez le contrôle sur toutes vos finances depuis votre smartphone.
You're hard pushed to find a bank in Spain that doesn't stick you with all sorts of commissions and charges, so to find a challenger bank of the same sort we have in Britain, operating in countries like Spain, was a breath of fresh air.
We had a couple of ideas about what we would do for the UK launch. The initial idea was to project our logo onto the Bank of England building, but that was slightly too controversial. We chose Carnaby Street because it's a fantastic location, it's central, it's Soho, it's sort of the life of London to a larger extent, and we were really lucky when we got to Carnaby Street. They had the most fantastic Freddie Mercury Christmas-like display, and visually it was gorgeous.
Whilst we started in Europe, I think the UK was always a sort of natural next step. What's even more exciting is what's to come.
I think our vision for the office, I said we about 25 to 30 people now here in Barcelona. I think would like to be around 200 or 200 more by the end of next year.
For N26 to give you a Spanish IBAN to operate in Spain, you need to use your Spanish address and have a Spanish mobile number. First, let's look at the Edificio Miramar, which is on the front line by the main gardens. It's got up to 3rd or 4th floor level, actually can't tell from these pictures. And the promotional video is available online if you want to have a look at the interior. Posters around the resort are now promoting a second development called Edificio Cristal, and it's not been built yet, so the online video is in fact the architect's CG. But if you look at it closely, you can tell where this is going to be built when they show you the external shots. Yes, this is the area where they built a new roundabout recently, and there's a piece of wasteland just by there which has been dug out for the footings. At the north end of the run of apartments, a company called Gran Fiesta seemed to have taken over the Edificio Playa Dorada. It's the one before you get to the campsites with the glass balconies. They have plans to have some kind of a wellness centre in the commercial units downstairs, so if you don't fancy yoga on the beach, you can take your yoga indoors when they've finished. Back to a block that I reported on a few months ago, Costa Marina 3, which appeared to be undergoing the same sort of work as Vistamar 3 did. This is now back in action. The commercial units that I showed you were all closed up. They're open again now, and I found a nice little cafe where we had our lunch. Finally, and south of the River Chinchilla, on the beach that's called Morey de Goss, you may be familiar with the Hotel Corral. A number of people have reported to me they've seen this being developed over the last few months, and at least 2 of them told me it was due to be finished in June. Well, I have to say it's not looking like it, but we'll keep an eye on it.